Being kicked out of Malaysia did not strike us as particularly disastrous at the time, other than the fact that we all recognized our vulnerabilities as a small state. We would now be having our own armed forces.
In 1967, Singapore introduced national service to boost their armed forces. As a newly independent nation and with the British withdrawal on the cards, Singapore felt exposed.
The armed forces would be a conscript armed forces, and there would be regulars who would manage the training and become the core groups for various formations in the armed forces. The whole idea then was the army, the ground troops. The training of the first cohorts occurred in newly formed units, 3 SIR and 4 SIR, which were housed in Taman Jurong. They were actually Housing and Development Board blocks which had not yet been occupied.
There were very limited facilities. Parade grounds were hard to come by. You had to be actually created out of whatever open space there was.
So with the national service system coming in, I found myself involved in the preparation of training formats, indirectly under the supervision of the Israeli advisors.
Singapore had sought Israel's advice and experience to help develop a credible national service.
We were aware of the fact that introducing the national service was good for the nation. There was a war cry then that we wanted to have a disciplined and a rugged society. We realized that the regular soldiers will become the trainers, will be the leaders. So when they came in to do our preparation training with us, I think there was no disparity between us and them. We were willing to share. And there was no such thing as, you are second-class soldier, you are second-class officer, we are the professional. No. We said, we've got a task to do, let's do it together.
We were going through a period of real learning, experiencing things that we had not known before, improvising all along the way, plenty of anxiety amongst the national servicemen and amongst the officers.
There was resistance to national service from the very beginning. The Chinese population had objections to military service.
You were creating tensions within the populace in Singapore. And if they didn't deal with that well, you could end up getting resentment. The army took a step back from some of the demands that were expected from regular troops.
Despite this, training did not suffer, and bringing people together from different races and different backgrounds gave them all new experiences. For the first time, national service brought Singaporeans together for a shared task, and lifelong friendships were forged in the process. As national service continued to expand, new challenges emerged.
They wanted the SAF to be expanded, the support weapons as well. So that's where the idea of having the armor or the tanks to come into the organization. A group of us first started the Pure Tank Battalion in the SAF. The tanks are mainly for armor fights. But the V200 essentially was the infantry personnel carrier. So it means that it both can serve as a tank as well as to carry troops around using wheels, which are road-bound. So there are limitations. Whereas the tank, they are mainly for cross-country. The terrain generally in this part of the world is mostly jungle. So it makes more sense that if you can adapt yourself with either the urban type of fighting or the jungle type of fighting. So you are more flexible, you can move around. You have the versatility to adapt yourself whenever the terrain demands it.
With the arrival of the 1990s, national service was impacted by Singapore's lower birth rate. And with less troop numbers coming through, technology was harnessed as a force multiplier, giving Singapore Armed Forces the decisive edge.
A natural evolution of the training was that we should put in cutting-edge technology into our system.
We got into the system a whole lot of people with the knowledge and the brain power to cope with where we wanted to go as an armed forces.
Today, this technology has enabled the SAF to create a world-class Army, Navy and Air Force, with national service as the vital backbone for Singapore's defence.
One of the greatest impact that the national service has on the community is that it gives the confidence to the individual. We must give them the will actually to survive. If they are able to survive by themselves, then you can relate it, the survival, to the nation, to the community, and so on and so forth. We prepare men to prevent war rather than to go into war. In times of peace, whatever we can do, our capabilities must show. By doing that, and with your capabilities understood by people around you, you will not touch you. Because they know, this man is good, he's trained, he wants to survive, leave him alone.
As a nation, we are ready for a lot of things. We can organize, we can mobilize, we can do what we need under all sorts of stressful circumstances. The armed forces is responsible for putting us in that state of readiness. Duty, honor, country, excellence in behavior, leadership. All of those things are imbibed by national servicemen